President. My question is for the Minister for Small Business. Minister, the Victorian events industry is a very significant employer, with many small businesses forming an integral part of that sector. The government has not yet published material allowing the events sector to recommence its operations, but key small business participants tell me that a minimum of 50 attendees with appropriate social distancing and proper protections would be required to support a viable return of the events sector. And I therefore ask, given zero COVID-19 transmission in Victoria, when will the small businesses in the events sector be allowed to reopen with rules that ensure they are both safe and viable?
Minister Pulford.
Thank you, President. I thank Mr Davis for his question. There are 2 new coronavirus cases have been recorded in the last 24-hour reporting period, so it's not true to say that there is no infectious activity, and it's not true to say or suggest or infer that the pandemic has been and gone. And it's, I think, a little irresponsible to do that, to be honest. In terms of the discussions that the government has been having with the events industry and work with them on the safe resumption of what they do, which is of course such an essential part of the fabric of life across Victoria and in Melbourne. The Minister who has primary responsibility for this and has been involved in these discussions is Minister Pakula, and so I will take the question, I guess, in part on notice and confer with Minister Pakula and provide some further advice. But I do know that there has been regular engagement with the industry, that they've made frequent representations to ministers, and particularly Minister Pakula, and working with our department. I'd also indicate, though, as is the case for all industry restrictions, that we will continue to be guided by the health advice and work closely with the industry organisations so that the health advice can be informed by the best possible knowledge and understanding of how industry operates. I know that certainly all the industry leaders that I've met with and spoken with over now 4 months in this role are deeply, deeply committed to a safe and sustainable reopening of the economy, and I have no reason to believe that the events industry would be any different, though it is Minister Pakula who's predominantly been dealing with them on our behalf.
Mr Davis on a supplementary.
Minister, I'm actually surprised that you have not engaged with this sector yourself directly, because there are literally hundreds and hundreds of small businesses in this sector, and I think that this is something that you should engage with. But in supplementary question, I therefore ask, Minister, other governments around Australia have provided significant specific support packages with grants of between $5,000 and $100,000 to support the events industry businesses. This has included a package for logistics and support groups. And I therefore follow with this and say, will you urgently commit to a specific financial support package to kickstart the small businesses in the events sector in Victoria?
Thank you. And as I indicated, I'm certainly aware of the discussions between my colleague and my department and the events industry, and I understand that many of them are small businesses. 90% of Victorian businesses are small businesses. Well, lots of sectors specifically. So yes, but they are engaged with and having discussions with Minister Pakula in his capacity as Minister responsible for COVID recovery, and so I will seek some updated and contemporary advice on the latest in those discussions, and what I am able to advise you through the parliamentary processes I will, but we would probably continue our practice of dealing directly with industry groups rather than with you, Mr Davis.